It's not another. It's not really. Well, you know you aren't like living in reality when a celebrity isn't being a dumbass. So I would talk about that and how Mark Hamill once again shows he really is just another annoying diabetic halfling. But that's beside the point. There's his stupidity. Then heard, I think yesterday, about how someone was attacking Gary Gygax again. You know, while conveniently, like I've always found this funny. Like I've said this in the past, I get annoyed with people who bitch about dead men who, quite honestly, were more creative in their pinky toe than most of these douchebags are in their whole fucking body. Like seriously, if there was ever a case to be made for abortion, it's these activists. To the point that that if you tried to argue that some adults should be aborted, and that's me being a nice way of saying it, I would believe you, and I would be like, can we start with the activists, like the climate activists who basically tried to destroy Stonehenge and have actually done damage to it? Or the people who've tried to destroy paintings, or these douchebags who are always attacking dead men to the point I'm convinced they want to erase the memory of him or her. Mainly the hymns, because as we all know, these people prefer attacking men because they're fucking cowards, because they know the men can't fight back, either when they're alive or dead. But I've said this about Lovecraft and maybe even Robert E. Howard. Like them, I think Walter B. Gibson, Raymond Chandler, like lots of men who actually made things that actual fans love. These little goblins love to come out of the woodwork to try to tear them down and shit all over them, while conveniently also having no problem profiting from them. There's a reason why I don't respect these people. One, they're scum. They're little commie gobbledygookers. They're gooper smoochers who honestly should be slapped upside the head every. It's a bit like journalists and game journalists. No matter how much you hate game journalists, I can assure you we don't hate them enough. Like you could tell me if I ever see a game journalist, I want to break their nose. I'd be like, that's not good enough. Like I hate to sound like Charles Manson when someone threatened him. Like, and no joke, a drug dealer literally told Manson, either you give me my money, I'm going to come down there and kill all of you. Manson was like, not good enough. He was like, challenge fucking accepted, bitch. That's basically how I look at most people who say they hate game journalists. I'm like, trust me, as much as you and I may hate game journalists and see them as scum of the fucking earth, we don't hate them nearly enough as we should. That's how I look at these people, because they bitch about these people, but they have no problem taking the things they've made and try to pervert and corrupt and basically co-opt them for their own propaganda, like the little Goebbels that they are. And yes, these are Goebbels. These are propagandists. They're scum. They are hypocrites, and they belong in a. Actually, I probably shouldn't say that next part. It's fine to say it on Twitter, but I don't say as much on here. But yeah, no, fuck these people. Lovecraft did nothing wrong. Gary Gygax did nothing wrong, although from what I've heard of his writing, it was not the best, because I think he would keep trying to inject like sex stuff in it, because also he would sometimes do this to fuck with people, because I think sometimes they would have this one lady who was like a publicist or an editor or whatever read it, and she would read it out loud and she would blush real easily. So he would write the most raunchy stuff. He was basically a troll. I love it. I love people who find creative ways to troll people. Like, that's what I found so funny about the whole thing with Mushoku Tensei with the episode where Paul died. When I heard the episode where the dad dies was released on Father's Day, I about died of laughter. I'm like, wait, they did what? Oh my fucking God. That's glorious. That's fucking glorious. Can we get more of this shit? That is a special kind of trolling that warrants a medal, as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, so anyway, this guy did not hurt anyone. He did not do anything wrong. Unless having a shitty idea has physically harmed someone, you know, like Lovecraft's words one day jumped out from the page and started hate crime and blackies. Yeah, no, fuck that. They did nothing wrong. So yeah, to all the activists who are saying this shit about Gary Gygax, fuck you. You're the same people who like to say orcs are black people, to which I can only say, no, they're not. Orcs are way more competent at killing people. I'm pretty sure if you gave them a gun, they could hold it properly. And make of that what you will, but that's beside the point. Yeah, no, this is stupid. Like, you are phonies, you are frauds, you are liars. You slander men who are dead and no longer. I think that's the part I take the most umbrage with. Is I often say I hate people who disrespect the dead, but then again, there are some dead men who do deserve disrespect. Ebert and Pauline Kael are good examples. The only difference is I feel slightly bad for Ebert when I found out what his last days were like, but yeah, still fucking him. for like all his disingenuous BS against action and horror. Fuck him and Siskel for that. But you know what? Yeah, there's some people you could criticize, but I'm like, okay, if you're going to criticize them, at least be genuine about it and do it for the right reasons. It's a bit like Silence of the Lambs. My main complaint with Siskel bashing Silence of the Lambs is like, okay, look, if you're going to hate that film, at least hate it for the right reasons, like the fact that it wasn't subtle in its feminist propaganda. Like, it was not subtle. It was not fucking subtle. Like, even to a guy like me who would not notice that kind of shit, if I saw it the first time, I would not notice it. But yeah, even then, it was not subtle. And they're not hating on this stuff for the right reasons. It's kind of like with Lovecraft. I'm like, if you're going to hate Lovecraft, at least hate him for the right reasons. You should hate him because he was a pretentious snob. That's the part I find way more offensive. Like the whole race thing, I'm like, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Like, seriously, you fuckers have cried racist so often, I no longer take the terms. It's a bit like if you call someone a struggle snuggler, I wouldn't believe you. Actually, yeah, no, I really don't believe it. It's kind of like when I heard Max Landis was accused of that. Like, one, he was accused, and that was it. Also, I found out who some of his accusers were. Mainly a certain whore by the name of Zoe Quinn, who has the credibility of a starved crack whore. Kind of like Asmongold. Yeah, so, no, this is stupid. To all you fucktards who love attacking dead men, you are cowards. You are weak, pathetic people who should have been aborted in the womb. That's how I feel about you, quite honestly, and I make no apologies for saying this. Hell, I tell Dan this all the time, and he's like, I can't believe you said that. Honestly, that's tame. There's way worse things I would like to say to them, like, you're scum, fellatio a shotgun, go fuck yourself with a jagged knife. Yeah, I could say way meaner things to these. It's kind of like with white guilt. I'm like, look, white guilt, I get it. You hate that you're alive. I hate that you're alive, too. The difference is we both know what the solution is, and you won't do it. So fuck off. You're pathetic. You're weak. You are frail. If hearing mean words ruins your day and makes it incapable for you to get out of bed some days, you are a pathetic human being who has no business being a part of the human race. You are a pathetic person. I do not respect you, and quite honestly, it should be legal to punch you into a coma sometimes. That's how evil you people are to me. You're a bit like the commies in Germany after World War II. Because from what I hear, they got so insufferable that people started beating the shit out of them. And if a cop saw them doing this, they would just say, like, don't worry, he's a commie. The cop would apparently look the other way. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not saying I want to do that. Actually, no, I do want to do that. But I'm not saying we should do it. But if you go ahead and do that, I wouldn't stop you. It'd be like that phrase from Batman. I'm not going to kill you, but I sure as hell ain't going to save you. Kind of like with Neil Gaiman. I am thoroughly enjoying watching the shit show being flung his way. Because fuck him. That pretentious, overrated Brit. Who, by the way, shot on Steve Ditko in the shittiest, pretentious way possible. Where he's like, they don't even pretend to be stories. Well, you don't pretend to be genuine. You are a snob who lies. You are a whore. Kind of like Mark Hamill. And I think that's where I'm going to end the video. Or this little log. Have a nice day. And remember, the game was rigged from the start. And anyone who says it's wrong to hate people, I have such sights to show you. Goodbye.